Welcome back, everybody, to the channel dedicated to shotguns in Call of Duty, and what I'm going to do today is talk about the shotgun that, as always, is being slept on. I know that I say that a lot, but this one in particular is generally a sleeper. I'm talking, of course, about the VLK Rogue shotgun, and today's video is going to be 5 reasons why I think the VLK Rogue is actually a top tier, potentially meta shotgun. If you've watched my content before, you may know of a few reasons that I can think of, but I'm willing to bet there may be a few reasons you don't know that you see in this video as to why this thing is actually a really great shotgun. Some may be more obvious than others, but let's get into the list. Reason number 1 is the movement speed. The movement speed for this gun is the fastest in the shotgun class. If I asked all of you watching this video, or just anyone in general, what the fastest shotguns in Warzone would be, most would probably say the Cold War shotguns, the Street Sweeper, the Gallo, maybe even the Howler. But the truth is that these guns are not as fast as some of the other shotgun builds you can make with Modern Warfare shotguns. In fact, out of all of the shotguns, the base speed that the VLK Rogue has is the fastest. That means it's better than the Street Sweeper and the Gallo. Funny enough, the Gallo and the Origin are just behind the VLK Rogue too, so they're up there with speeds that are basically almost identical. If you kit them out for speed, which isn't advised most of the time because they're pretty bad, you can get the fastest movement speed yet again for the shotguns by a good bit. This would mean a short barrel, small magazine, yada yada, no stock, you know the drill, which again, I don't always recommend, but just know that in most cases, you will have the fastest shotgun if you use the VLK Rogue. If you stack the biggest barrel in the Marauder suppressor, that may go down a peg or two, but the potential for speed is there, and out of all the base shotguns, the VLK Rogue really is the fastest one. Reason number 2, damage consistency. This goes a little bit more in depth with damage, but if you notice, most of the shotguns have chest and head damage that's seemingly the same, stomach damage which varies on the gun but tends to be a little bit less than chest, and leg damage that tends to be lower than stomach, and that all differs from the guns. The thing about the 725 sawed-off barrel and why it's so good is the damage is consistent with all the body parts, so legs don't do less damage. It does the same as the head. The difference isn't huge for these shots, but if you manage to hit the enemy's legs with some pellets hitting the stomach along with some hitting the legs, you may not get the fullest damage potential that you can. Again, the 725 with the sawed-off barrel is god tier for this, but now enter the VLK Rogue. In your 2-shot range, stomach and legs deal the same damage, so you aren't as penalized for being slightly below the belt. After that 2-shot range, all areas of the body seem to do the same damage. What this all means is consistency more so than with the other shotguns. So compared to say the Model 680 where legs will deal less damage, the VLK Rogue has much less of an issue when compared to some of the others. Yes, you still have to deal with pellets and that can lead to its own inconsistencies, but when compared to other shotguns, even the spammier ones, the VLK Rogue has a very slight edge because of this. Reason number 3, the fire rate. The VLK Rogue has always been a shotgun to me that bridges the gap between the spammier shotguns like the Gallo and the Origin and the heavy hitter ones like the Model 680, 725, and the Howler. The VLK Rogue basically sits right in the middle with a fire rate more like a spammy one, but the damage is more in line with a pump action. While it doesn't carry the same damage over range as the heavy hitters, it makes up for it close range with the fire rate and the damage. The fire rate is at about 131 rounds per minute, and if you get a 2 or 3 shot kill, your time to kill is at about 458 milliseconds and then 916 milliseconds respectively. Compared to the Model 680's 2-shot of 857 milliseconds, the VLK Rogue is a bit more forgiving overall because of this. Again, while the Model 680 can carry damage further out, and where the VLK Rogue basically goes from a 3 to 5 shot kill at ranges that the Model 680 would be a 4-shot, you get consistency up close with the fire rate, and like I said before, that damage. Reason number 4, better 2-shot than the Model 680? Yeah, this one kind of caught me off guard, and when it comes to weapon balancing, it doesn't really make much sense. The Model 680 has a 2-shot range with the base gun of about 5 meters, nothing really special. The VLK Rogue, however, with buckshot, again, has a 2-shot range of 5.4 meters. Yeah, so the gun shoots faster and has more consistent damage, now also has more range than the gun known for range. At least with buckshot. Dragon's Breath is a bit of a different story. The Model 680 can max 2-shot with buckshot at around 7.1 meters, but the VLK Rogue with its attachments extends to 7.5, which isn't a huge difference, yeah, let's be honest, but it's something to keep in mind, and again, it's something that just kind of boggles my mind. Again, the 680 does seem to carry damage further out than the VLK Rogue, so maybe that's the balancing here. but I have a feeling that they didn't tune the 680 after the VLK Rogue was added, so they focused on the VLK Rogue at the time and put the 680 on the back burners and never really touched it, but that's just a theory. Reason number 5, Dragon's Breath. Now, need I say more? For the shotguns that have it, the JAK 12, the Model 680, R90, VLK Rogue, not you, it makes the gun generally more strong and lets you deal more damage overall while hurting your effective range, but since we like to be up close with shotguns, the effective range penalty isn't really that important. The VLK Rogue with Dragon's Breath is a monster in its own right, and it makes the gun even more deadly up close. With the fire rate, the speed, and the damage, it makes this gun an absolute machine if you can move well. EOD does hurt your effectiveness overall if someone has it equipped when you're using Dragon's Breath, but since more people are running Cold-Blooded now more than ever instead of EOD, Dragon's Breath should technically be a bit more consistent than ever before with any of the shotguns really, but even with EOD, your 2-shot potential is amazing. With the 2 biggest range attachments, the Marauder and the Tsar barrel, your 2-shot range with Dragon's Breath is around 8.9-ish meters. This is basically what the R90 with Dragon's Breath is at currently, but since the gun can fire 8 rounds consistently, meaning the steady fire rate, it's generally more forgiving. 8.9 meters, if you hit torso shots accurately, is no joke, and if someone is nicked already, you have even more of a chance of getting the kill. So with this gun, Dragon's Breath usually is the way to go, but I know not everybody wants to run it or feels like they have to, and this is good to know for the VLK Rogue since now you know it has a better 2-shot kill than the Model 680 if you don't want to run Dragon's Breath. And there you have it, my friends, 5 reasons that I think the VLK Rogue is actually and secretly a top tier shotgun that most people still don't know about. You have range, you have damage, you have the fire rate, and Dragon's Breath. I mean, what more do you really need? Yeah, it's still a bit wonky at times with inconsistencies that hurt all of the shotguns, mostly the spread of the pellets, but with this thing combined with the movement, it's just a machine that is not to be messed with, and if you hear this thing close to you, run the other way. It's no joke, really. If you think I'm full of crap, be sure to let me know down below, and speaking of that, let me know down below what you think of this gun, and what do you think of my list here? Is there something else you can think of that makes this gun even better than the other shotguns? If you like shotguns in Call of Duty or FPS games in general, be sure to subscribe for more content like this because I post stuff like this all the time. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.